Good afternoon. My name is Courtney Norton, and I'm the TSA advisor at Dunbar School in Okmulgee, Oklahoma, and we're here to just tell you a little bit about our group and the things that we have happening with our local TSA chapter. Today I've brought some of my students who are part of our chapter to be able to share a little bit about what we're doing and how things are going. Today we're going to talk a little bit about our future experience coming up. We're trying to go to national conference. Will be the first time that our chapter has had that opportunity, and we'll talk a little bit about what we are doing while we go and some of the things we've done already this year. So we're excited and looking forward to our national conference. Anyone want to tell us a little bit about what the plan is?
We're fundraising for nationals. We got told at the beginning of fundraising for nationals that each person had to raise anywhere from $500 to $800. As of now, we're just trying to get our registration paid to make sure that everybody would be able to pay their registration at least.
Okay, and nationals is happening in June?
Mm-hmm. June to July.
So our national conference is happening in Nashville, Tennessee, June 27th through July 1st. And we have 7 students planning to go from Dunbar. All of these students are planning to attend and are very excited about this opportunity. We have a couple more who weren't able to join us today, but they're excited about going as well. So what would you say is the thing you're most excited about for this national trip?
Getting the opportunity to go and express our feelings on TSA and stuff like that, and do the projects that we was picked and everything.
Okay. How many projects were you asked to work on?
4 was the original set, but the limit is 6.
So you're working on 4 projects, some you've already done before.
Yes.
For the state competition?
Yes.
And then you're adding some others that maybe are new. Do you have anything new that you're working on?
Well, I am currently working on career prep, and me, Bentley, and Austin are working on website design along with Mariah. And we are looking forward to, bringing our projects to nationals and see how far we are going to achievements.
Okay. What's been your favorite project you've worked on so far?
Children's stories.
And tell us about a little bit more about the children's story project.
So children's stories is you have to make a book for kids, and it has to be interactive, and it has to be about friends.
And so you made your story and took it to the state competition. Are you taking it to nationals?
Since I didn't qualify for that one, I'm really not allowed to take children's stories.
So there's some events that we're taking that we did at state, but there's others that are not. So some had to be pre-qualified. Children's Stories was one. Even though you had a great and interactive book, there was, I guess, other books selected to represent the state instead of ours. And so that left you openings to be able to try some new projects, and that's part of why you decided to work with Bentley and Jacob and Austin on the website. And how do you think that's going?
So far, good. We're just progressing, and we're making a little bit of changes.
Okay. What kind of things is going to be included in your website? Go ahead.
Well, the website is recipes for teens.
Okay.
And cooks.
Young cooks.
Young cooks.
Young cooks. Okay.
Young cooks. Yeah. They're recipes for young cooks who want to learn how to cook and
Not bored. Can make something.
Bentley, what were you saying?
It could also be for people for kids who are just really bored and hungry, and their parents tell them to go do something.
Well, it could be in any type of situation to where they want to prepare recipes.
Okay. So they might be bored, they might just be hungry, they might be looking for something to do, and it gives them some options. Okay. Does anybody have a favorite event that they're working on for the national competition?
Yeah,
What's your favorite?
inventions and innovations.
Tell us more about that.
Our theme this year was that we had to make something that could help improve a middle schooler and or a high schooler's day-to-day lives.
Okay, so we know that kids have a hard time sometimes at school or being able to do or manage different things. So tell us about what you came up with.
Me and my team, we came up with a backpack organizer because a couple other people who was on my team, they went through my bag and tried to find something in there that could like help us like figure out like what we would be inventing that would help us more. And they couldn't really find much of anything in my bag because of how messy it was, whether it was with papers or books or something like that.
Nor the bottom of your bag. Nor the bottom.
They couldn't even make it to the bottom. There was so many things. Okay.
And so we decided to build a backpack organizer, and our model or prototype is made out of cardboard and fabric, but if we were to make a real one, it would be made out of more of a rubberish type material.
Okay. And so you're thinking that this could be something that would be offered in stores at some point if that's how you chose to pursue the project?
Yeah.
Okay. And you said that you just had to make the model. Is there anything else that you had to do?
Yes, we had to do a static display.
What's a static display?
So it's kind of like if you have like, it's like a cardboard setup, and you can so you would type out like your design process or like how you did it or like what experience you came up with. And we decorated it to match our theme of our box, and our fabric on our box had fishes on it. So we found like some little fish stuff that we could put around as like.
So it's like let's see, I guess the best way to describe it would be a science fair trifold type board. Okay, and so on this board you guys put a frame with your fish border, and then you put information you said about the design process and some drawings that went along with the project. And what kind of information were you asked to include? Was it something you guys just came up with, or was there specific things that they wanted?
So we typed out like kind of what we wanted to have on there. I didn't work on the display a whole lot. Like I put the borders around, like kind of like the frame. I feel like Olivia and Annabella did most of the display.
You were more instrumental in the building of the model.
We're making a new display though because we got some better information at this winner's workshop that we went to.
Okay.
About like not necessarily making it more interactive, because they said that like they liked our fishes because we had like little drawings of fishes put up there and bubbles and like little seagrass.
So they liked how you kept with the theme.
Yeah.
But they wanted to see it maybe a little neater. It seemed like you said that there was a situation where maybe part of your picture or part of the text maybe wasn't secured well, and so they gave you some suggestions of how to just improve the display to make it a better overall presentation.
Like we had tiny little letters, and they told us to make them bigger so that way it would be easier for the judge to be able to read.
Okay, that was a good tip. Okay. Jacob, do you have a favorite project that you're planning to do for nationals?
Well, my favorite project to do in nationals, it would be, website design. Because, I've spent like overnight working on the website, and we originally built our website on WordPress, but it was like too complicated, and it wasn't really, it really hadn't had any materials that we needed for our website. So we relied on Canva, and Canva,
more user-friendly.
It is more user-friendly, and the fact that it allows schools to have like, if it was a school, like it had like a free, premium subscription, that really helped with our website.
Because it gave you more options of things that you could include that would make your website better.
Yes, and we do our parts. I was the one who like built the layout of the website.
Okay.
I also focused on grammatical errors and
So your job mostly on this project is the layout of the website, and then also the formatting and looking for things that might need to be corrected.
yes.
Bentley, what would you say your main job is on that project?
My main job is to work on. They had us do like a specific part of a portfolio.
Okay.
Was that the design?
The design brief.
Yeah. So I'm doing the design brief part of a portfolio.
Also the work log and other
Yeah.
Other
stuff.
parts as needed. Okay.
Yes.
And
Ryan, what's your main thing?
To find recipes so Jacob could put them and so we could publish the recipes.
Okay. Austin?
Mine is to cook the food and take pictures.
Oh, that sounds like a fun job.
It is.
We would also need permission to use the recipes on our website.
Okay.
So we're planning on emailing, the cookbooks, the inner cookbook publishers to use the recipes on our website to present to the judges at nationals.
Great. And that's something, are you having to submit it in advance of the conference?
Yes, we have,
Everything would have to be submitted and completed by May the 19th.
Okay. Braylon, you're not working on this project, correct?
Yes.
So what's one of the projects you're working on?
Junior Soul Sprint.
Or what is a junior solar sprint?
It is a car that relies on solar power to run it and or a battery pack if it happens to be inside.
Okay. So that was one of the projects you and your team took to the state competition. And how did you do with it?
We did good. We got third place at state.
How fast did your car run?
Our car went 8 seconds,
For how much distance?
65 feet.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Was it one of the faster ranking cars at the competition?
It was one of them.
Okay.
wasn't it the second fastest?
Yes.
Second fastest car. That's pretty cool. So you guys had a pretty good car. You worked on your project and the portfolio that went with it. Bentley mentioned that you had attended maybe a winner's workshop and they gave you some feedback. What was some of the things they suggested for the Junior Solar Sprint?
That the stuff that we put on the walk log was typed instead of wrote in,
Okay.
and we added numbers to the bottom of the page.
Okay, so just a few little things that could improve the project. Was there anything else that really stood out to you about things you wanted to do to potentially change the project?
We originally did on the gear ratio a 10 teeth on the motor and a 40 teeth gear on the axle. Then we got feedback that it would probably be faster if we did
A change in.
a change in gear ratio. So
So have you tried some options and what kind of success have you found?
we tried to do a 40 teeth on the motor and a 10 teeth on the axle and found that the car really don't move.
Oh, that seems like a problem. So what are you trying to do to overcome that challenge?
Change out the gears and see if any of the gear ratios besides the one we already did
If
won't.
you had success with something else. Okay.
And you did that portfolio.
Oh, and you're redoing some of the portfolio. Okay. I know that when you guys went to the tournament or to the conference, competition, it is what it is. So when you went to the conference, there were some other events that people in our group did. Anyone want to talk about one of those projects?
I was talking about mechanical engineering.
Okay, tell us about mechanical
So,
engineering.
mechanical engineering is another car, but this car is powered by a mouse trap, and it has to go 10 feet forward and 3 feet back, and you can only set the mouse trap off once.
Wow, that sounds difficult. What do you think was the most difficult part of that project?
Trying to figure out how to make them can't go back.
Oh, because going forward seems pretty simple, but being able to go backward when you're only allowed to use, how many mouse traps?
One.
Oh, when you're only allowed to use one mouse trap, that makes it different, because thinking of how movement happens, change of direction is a little more awkward in that way. So it worked out that you guys found a solution and had good success. Did you guys place at the state tournament?
We didn't.
Fourth place? Okay.
We almost did.
Okay, so at the state tournament conference, at the state conference, I don't know why I keep saying tournament. So at the state conference, you guys were able to, they recognized on stage the top 3 places, and since you scored 4th place, they didn't pull you to the stage, but you found out later that you were 4th place and you were still excited about that result.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
We just fixed a couple of things in our portfolio that we feel will be helpful during national conference.
Okay, that sounds good. So we just had our last meeting. We meet monthly as a chapter. We'll invite students to come each month. Usually we have an after-school meeting, and sometimes we invite parents to come. We just had our last meeting for the year since it's May, and we were able to share at that meeting some things. What did you guys like best about how that meeting went this year?
It was very put together and organized.
As compared to a time where maybe it wasn't?
As compared to a time it might have been a little chaotic.
Oh, a little chaotic. So that does happen sometimes. There's things that come up that you don't expect. So so at the meeting, we followed kind of a format of getting started and sharing some of the way of TSA. So some of you guys are officers, and each of you shared a little bit about your officer position. And then we had some parents who attended the meeting, and they wanted to know a little bit about the projects because they're not able to always go to the events, and they wanted to know more of what you guys were doing. They hear about some of the projects maybe that you're doing, but not everybody's. And so at that meeting, everybody got the chance to share.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And what kind of feedback did you get from the parents that were there?
That they liked it and they got more of an idea of what TSA was about.
Okay, so is TSA only about competition?
No,
No.
it has
No.
the community service part.
Okay,
And just the overall environment of TSA
And
is what I really
socializing.
felt
and
really-
socializing, you like that?
Yes, and
Okay.
socializing.
It is the fact that not only are the projects get you on your toes, it is also the people that you work with, and it is also helping other people be the best of themselves. And I feel like that's what TSA is truly all about.
It's the opportunity to better people as individuals.
Yes,
Okay.
and better yourself as individuals, like build your self-esteem.
Okay, and it also gives you opportunities to work with other people that maybe you don't get to otherwise. I know as you explained to a few people, as either you've gone to the community looking for donations for the national conference, or as you've been talking to people at school board meeting, or like the meeting with the parents, you guys shared some things about how that went. So, Fry, what would you say? Because your mom had the opportunity to come with us when we went to state. So after the meeting, the main meeting, did she have any other feedback? Because I know she got to see some of the things at state, but not everything.
Since she wasn't there the first part of our competition, like when I tell her about our projects, she doesn't like fully understand what it's about. And when we got to do the May meeting, she understood what I was talking about and why I'm in TSA.
Oh, okay. So that's a great question that you're leading me to. So why do you like TSA? Why is it something that you choose to be involved in?
Like, it's creativity and bettering yourself, and like the technical world, so about the community and helping others.
Okay, what about you?
I really just enjoy the atmosphere in TSA because you're always going to be supported wherever you go. And that's what I like about TSA.
Is that there's people there to give you support, whether it's within your chapter or outside of the chapter. There's people always out there cheering you on and making you feel better about how things are.
So like what's already been said, like I like how we get to, you know, build our self-esteem and boost our confidence in doing things. And, you know, I really like the atmosphere that we're working with, you know, like I just like, you know, feeling like I truly matter and that I have a place in building the chapter up to the best like level, which is the gold level. It is also, it's conferred because of the pathways of excellence. So with pathways of excellence, there are 3 categories. It is personal and professional development, STEM
Immersion.
STEM immersion, and the, what was it, like, was it something about community service?
I think so.
Yes. And so I have did the bronze level.
So what is, so Jacob, you're saying that there's a recognition program within TSA called the Pathways of Excellence. There's different levels, bronze, silver, and gold.
Yes.
And you worked this year to accomplish all of them. Bentley, you worked on the bronze level.
Yeah, I got mine.
You have your little pin on that shows that. And within each level, there's 3 different activities that people pick to work on and submit for approval to show that they've achieved or worked on something in a category. So some of that was project related, but some of it is other things. And so that's been interesting to be able to see, and that helped our chapter because this year our chapter worked for the 2nd year to earn the Gold Chapter of Excellence Award, and we received that, which was pretty cool to say that you were able to participate in that. This year at the state conference, they gave us some preferred seating during the award ceremony, so that was nice, especially when you guys got 3rd place. We were right there to be able to cheer and celebrate your success.
I was also getting up the stage to get the
Right.
gold banner for our school. So
Right.
that was really amazing.
To be able to walk across that stage and be able to
Show like,
show the success that we did. And Jacob,
Yes.
the reason you got to go was because you were the president of our chapter for the year.
yes.
There was, Austin, you had a favorite part, or what do you said you liked the socializing part of
yes,
TSA,
socializing, because
but you didn't start the year with us in TSA.
No, before I first started TSA, Bentley and Braylon, they were in TSA, and I thought if they're in there and they like it, I probably would like it.
Because they're some of your good friends.
Yes.
And it gave you an opportunity to be with them some more.
Yes. So I decided to try it out. Now, I don't have the class, like, actually,
Right.
but I do take some time out of my classes when I have extra free time, and I work on stuff from there
Right.
for TSA.
Right.
What I like about it, though, is socializing, because that's been a hard thing for me to do for a while, just because moving different schools is
Right.
a big thing for my family. We move a lot.
So it's giving you a place to feel connected
Yes.
and to be able to grow your friendships with people you've connected with
Yes, and meet new people.
and meet other new people.
Like the state conference, I made friends with the state officers in TSA. That was pretty fun. And then also, I think I helped, or we all kind of understood each other better at that state conference too.
Because when you're spending time with people day in and day out in class, That's one thing. But being together for the state conference, it was all day long.
For 4 days.
So it was all day long for a couple of days. We went on a Wednesday, competed on Thursday as well, and then Friday we had the awards. The national competition is going to be the 4-day event, so we will spend lots of time together.
Yeah,
That's okay.
I forgot.
That's all right.
We kind of we stayed in the state conference for like 3 days.
Yeah, so we were there for 3 days doing some competitions, but then when the competitions were over, we had the opportunity just to, as you said, spend time together and get to know each other in ways that you don't have time for during the school day.
Yeah, because sometimes we're busy.
Sometimes we're busy. And you mentioned, Austin, that you're not in the class. So probably in all schools, it's not a situation of having TSA as a class, but at our school, we do offer TSA as a class. We found that over the past couple of years that there's times people wanted to be competitive in TSA. It's not the only thing you can do, but we had kids who wanted to compete and they were struggling to find partners, people who wanted to compete as well and that they could work with. And so they chose to offer the opportunity that we could have a class so that we would have people who we knew were committed to the idea of competition and also to give you time to work on your projects. So how many competitions, I'm sorry, let me go back before we go to that next part. Braylon, what's your favorite part of TSA, would you say?
Probably the community service.
The community service. What's your favorite community service that you've done?
Probably when we did sleep bags for firefighters.
Treat bags for firefighters. Why was that your favorite?
It was giving back to the community.
Giving back to the community. So you feel like firefighters maybe are not often thanked, or
They might be often forgot about,
okay.
and they have a big role in our community.
And without them, we could have a lot of problems. So it's good to appreciate those who help us in that kind of way. Okay. I should have held on to the next question in my mind, but I seem to have forgotten it. So
I think you were asking about how many competitions.
oh yeah, thank you, Austin. You read my mind. So how many competitions are you allowed to take to the competition or to the conference, and how many are you guys taking?
Maximum is 6 and minimum is 4.
Well, our minimum.
Yeah,
Our minimum.
our minimum
is
and
4.
our maximum. Our maximum is 6 and our minimum is 4.
So part of the reason why we ended up at a 4 project number was because, one, it was recommended from another advisor that would be a good amount, but also because in our first year of doing TSA, we had people just trying one project and they felt they were really bored. There wasn't enough going on for them, and so they wanted to do more. Last year, before we offered the class, people ended up doing 3 projects, and that was a little better, but we felt like if people were involved in the class and they had nothing but time to be working on their projects, that 4 would be a pretty good amount. Do you feel like you guys had enough time to do the 4 projects
Yeah.
throughout the year?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Do you think that's something that should we be asked to do more projects, less projects? What do you kind of
I
think?
would say the same amount of projects would
Same
be
amount? Okay. Well, that's good to know. I know kind of where we should head. Let's see. So we're looking to go to the national competition. Does that mean that you'll be needing extra time to prepare? School's ending next week, so how do you plan on making sure that you're ready?
If our advisor would let us come over the summer, then we could work on our projects over
Oh,
the
that
summer.
can probably be arranged,
I
that
thought-
you would be given some time to work on
I
that.
thought our advisor told us we could come over to school and work on our
You're right.
project.
Oh yeah, I need a schedule.
Okay, we'll work on that. Anyway, so there was a couple people that were getting ready to speak, so anyone else? Or did they cover it for you?
Braylon?
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 No?
No comment.
Stop.
So you're preparing for the projects. You're working some time into the summer to finish. Some events that you're working on need to be pre-submitted, so that's due next week. And then you're planning on spending, due next week.
Next week?
Well, no,
The next.
the next week. So registration deadline is next week, and then the pre-submission is the week after that.
So like next week.
Next week, yes.
Yeah.
That's
Is
how
when
you
it's
want it.
due.
Yes,
So we have until next week to be done with it, right?
for the pre-submission ones, yes.
For website design, I have until next
Yes.
Yes, and since that was a project that you just decided to take on since we came back from state, I know it doesn't give you as much time as if it had been a project that you had started on in August. So what have been some of the, maybe your favorite things that we've done throughout the entire year since we started in August?
Children's stories would be one for me.
Children's stories was one of your favorite things you did? Why was it your favorite?
I don't know. I just
You
liked
just enjoyed it? Okay,
Well, I know. I read a lot of books.
okay.
I read too many, apparently, from what my mom tells me. No, my mom don't tell me that.
Sometimes you spend too much time in a book instead of not.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Okay.
She said, because I get sidetracked sometimes, like in the morning, I get up after I'm done getting dressed for school, and I sit on my couch and I start reading. There's this one time I forgot what time it was, and we almost missed the bus. So,
We're glad you made it to school that day.
yes.
Okay. So, working on the children's story that you took to state was one of your favorite things. Jacob, what's one of your favorite things that you've done this year?
My favorite project,
Favorite thing.
my favorite thing throughout the year was doing a project called Leadership Strategies.
Oh, what is leadership strategies?
So, Leadership Strategies is a project that focuses on you speaking to judges about a solution via the theme and problems of the TSA website.
Okay. So the TSA website tells some options of things that you might struggle with as a TSA chapter. And then you go in front of judges and present them a solution to that problem.
Yes. So
Okay.
we pick three there are 3 cards and we pick one
Of the topics.
randomly.
Okay.
So we get our topic, we get our cards, we flip it over and we look at the topic and we figure out the solution to that topic in under 15 minutes of preparation.
Okay. And so then after you've prepared, you present your solution to the judges.
Yes.
Okay. Anyone else have, Mariah, did you have a favorite thing? Doesn't have to be a project, could be just anything.
I don't really.
I think
No favorite?
I have another.
My favorite thing was state because I got to like talk. I got to, I got to talk to the state officers and about their positions and stuff.
Okay. Which was helpful for you in deciding if you wanted to be an officer or maybe what position you'd be interested in?
So I talked to McKenna when she got vice president, and she said that her role would be as preparing. So if the president wasn't there, that she would be prepared to be like
In charge.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm very prepared.
Oh, because Bentley, you're going to be the vice president of our chapter. Okay.
I'm very prepared.
Very prepared. Okay.
I can say my favorite thing.
Okay, Bentley, what's your favorite thing?
Winning in inventions and innovation. Second place at regionals.
Second place at regionals.
So-
Why was that so impactful to you? Or so much your favorite?
Just knowing that I like what I took part in doing, like that it can make a difference in like middle school and high school, like day-to-day life.
And then other people saw that in your project. Okay. Austin, you said you had another favorite thing?
Taking pictures,
Taking pictures?
except I close my eyes sometimes. That was in the newspaper.
And your eyes were closed.
Yes.
All right, it happens to the
There was
best
a
of us.
bright light.
Braylon, what's your favorite thing for this year?
Probably attending the board meetings.
Oh, attending the board meetings. Why do you like attending the board meetings so much?
To learn more about our school and how it's doing. And just to know more about everything in the community.
Okay. So, as a general run of the school year, we started in August. We had already pre-selected our officers for our chapter the year before. So they came in with the plan or intention of doing the jobs they'd been chosen. They worked on that a little bit before the summer, and then once we came back, making plans for their events, meetings, and activities. Then you guys, some went to the LEAD conference. Tell me about the LEAD conference and how that experience went.
We so this was my favorite part. So me and Braylon, our team chose, like, so we had girls and boys, and so we chose one person from, like, the boys team chose one person from their side, and then the girls chose one person from their side. So Braylon got picked and I got picked. So we both played rock, paper, scissors against each other. I won. And so a team of me, Olivia, and Kendra, our choices was fashion design or children's stories. So since I won, our group got to decide, and we chose to do children's stories.
So that meant the boys had to do some fashion designing.
It was great.
It was great.
So we ended up winning second over all the chapters in
That were at the conference.
that was at the conference.
Okay. So Braylon, since you lost and you got to do fashion design as a boy, which I would say is not that boys can't do that, but it's probably more thought of that it would be a girls' event. So what did you guys end up designing in fashion design?
We designed a belt buckle.
Oh, a belt buckle. Why a belt buckle?
Yeah.
Because it was the topic.
Oh, it's the topic. So because this year the national conference is happening in Nashville, so they asked you to design a belt buckle because...
That will be worn in nationals.
Okay.
And we chose to do it, and it said on the belt buckle, I think it said home of country music or something.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you had, about how much time would you say you had to do those?
15 minutes.
15 minutes, so
Okay.
really short amount of time. So it was more of a exposure
Yeah, it was like
to
a
some
test
different
run.
projects to see how that would go, and those were a couple of the ones you did. Okay, so you went to the LEAD conference, then you went to the Fall Leadership Conference. Some people went to that, and at Fall Leadership Conference you had opportunities to meet people, more socializing.
Yes.
You got to hear some different sessions, participated in some activities, decided to do some mini conferences. Jacob, what was your favorite part of participating in mini conferences?
So my favorite part in participating in mini conferences is the fact that we get to do projects, and we get to mini conferences. We get to try our luck at our projects, and it's basically like feedback on what you're gonna do in the major conferences like state and nationals.
Right. So if you had started working on a project and they had that event or project at the mini conference, you got to take it and get feedback for how that would go.
Yes.
If there was something you could make changes to, and then if it happened to be at another mini conference, you could take it back and see how that feedback improved your score or something like that.
Yes.
Okay.
The feedback is on paper, and it is also like it has the judges' comments and the rubric.
Yeah.
And if we had points deducted, it would show on that rubric.
So it would give you ideas of how to, again, how well you did on your project as far as following the rules or guidelines. And then if you needed to improve on something, it would tell you maybe some things you could do to make your project better.
Yes, the judges, they judge with the rubric, and the rubric shows like what our presence in the courtroom. I mean courtroom because it's judges,
Right.
and we're being judged based on our
On your
presence.
intent, right.
Yes.
So some projects you speak in front of a judge, but not every project. Sometimes you do a task like
Yeah.
maybe you were trying to solve a problem. You said that you enjoyed that project in a different interview, right? Where your favorite was going to a mini conference and winning for problem solving. Jacob, one that you did was some that you did were in front of judges where you just went and spoke.
Yes. There's also projects that has the semifinal round as the interview.
Right.
Which is also in projects like website design and children's stories and other
Different
projects.
So as you're doing these projects, you're working on whatever it said in the guidelines, and then based on how things were judged, it gives you the opportunity to advance further, maybe speak and share more information to help the judges as far as understanding your knowledge and process of completing the project. Yeah. Okay. So why would you say, we'll go back to nationals as we wrap this up. So what would you say is the thing you're most excited about for this nationals project? I know the fact that that you did well at state, and now here you are trying to go to this competition, something we've never done as a chapter, and you're wanting to go. Why is it so important to you to be able to have this opportunity?
The learning experience.
Okay.
And-
And how? Sorry, Jacob. We'll come back to you in just a second. But why is this learning experience in particular so important?
Because if we go to nationals this year, or not this year, if we go to nationals next year, we'll have more of an idea about more like what we would be expecting, and like kind of like to better improve our projects for if we have like a thing that's kind of similar as we did.
Because this year, maybe as you went through things, there was one theme, but then another year it might be a different theme. But even still, you're getting practice with that project. So you'll know whether or not that's something you want to continue to work on in the future. So that's what you're excited about, looking forward to. Okay, Jacob, what about you?
So why I am going to nationals and why this opportunity is important to me is due to like we're representing our chapter and we're finally getting to be known, and I really like that we're building our reputation to be a great chapter with people who are actually willing to do stuff. And while in the past we might not have like represented our chapter well, here we're open to improvement, and we are better equipped with things such as like what we need, what materials we need, because we had feedback from students in the past who have done projects, and like you said earlier that you get their project, you show how it works to other students so that they get an idea on what to do.
Right. So when Braylon was talking about earlier the mechanical engineering mousetrap car, we had a student in the past who had done that project. They saw or heard about it, new students did, and thought that looked like something that they would want to do. So that's what you mean as far as maybe gaining experience and moving forward.
Yes.
Okay. Austin, what are you most excited about?
The trip itself.
The trip itself?
Yeah.
Because you've been lots of places and you're excited for a new opportunity to travel with friends, because that'll be different than traveling with family and
Yes.
Yeah.
And maybe not as chaotic.
maybe known as chaotic.
Well, hang on. I take that back.
Could still be chaotic because it's our first opportunity and
And
we're a group of middle schoolers,
And a
so
very long
long
And while driving.
Yeah, we're driving, so it'll be a long drive.
Plus,
Yeah.
I love driving long
Okay.
places far away.
Okay.
And we can read the book.
Yeah, we can read
All
a
right, you
book.
can read your books. Okay. Braylon, what are you most excited about for nationals or looking forward to?
Competing and just spending time with our fellow TSA members.
Okay. Mariah, wrap it up with you.
Well, I travel a lot of places, but like I've never been to Nashville, so I'm excited about the trip.
Excited about the trip?
Miss Norton.
Oh, you're gonna ask me?
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. So I would say, for me, the part that I'm most looking forward to about this trip is, oh, y'all are gonna make me cry. Okay, so for me, the part that I'm most excited about is just the hard work that you guys have put in to all of this. And knowing that in Okmulgee, Oklahoma, of all places in the world, as you so often remind me, that there are great students. There are kids who are capable of more than they know. Oh, sorry, Austin, I don't mean to make you cry too. But there's kids who are capable of more than they know, and they can do awesome things, but they oftentimes get overlooked. And so I'm excited to see what you guys are able to do on this trip and to give you the experience that maybe you wouldn't get on any normal basis otherwise, because traveling, as Austin knows, is an adventure, and sometimes people don't get that. So just to see how all the hard work you've put in over the year will showcase out on that stage and see what you guys are doing. So
You know-
I'm proud of y'all.
You know, when I was virtual, like I never.
Oh, you're gonna give me a hug? Oh, well, thanks.
You're a great advisor.
Thanks.
We love having you.
Well, I'm glad, because I'm not planning on going anywhere.
Good.
Jacob, you were saying?
So during my times where I was like virtual,
Yes.
I never really had that opportunity to go through places and to actually like be productive, because you know I just sit in my house just doing work after work after work,
On the
and it's not
computer.
even, there is no extracurriculars or nothing.
Right, so the whole experience is different versus being a virtual student.
Yes.
Okay. So I've asked all of you guys a lot of questions. Does anybody have anything they want to?
Who's your favorite student?
Now, family.
Bentley.
That's a very
We are not
loaded
gonna do
question. So I would say my favorite student is not any one student in particular, ma'am, but it's those people who find the passion and choose to excel in the things that they do. So people
one of
like
them?
people like you guys who end up deciding that they want more of an opportunity than and pursue that and take the opportunity. That's my favorite.
What's your favorite part
Mi-
about being an advisor?
Oh, my favorite part of being an advisor. I would say my favorite part of being an advisor is the opportunity to see kids try new things and to encourage them in growth in that new thing.
So, how would you think that this chapter is doing compared to all those other years?
Other years. So I would say our chapter this year is doing well. I would not say that the other years didn't go well, but it's just been different. A good positive change. But over 4 years of doing TSA, things have definitely changed. There's been a lot of growth as far as our involvement, the level of involvement of different people along the way. So I'm really excited about you guys as a group and what you're doing and how the future looks for Dunbar TSA and where we're headed. I'm really excited about it.
Could
Yeah.
we end with the motto?
Sure, we should end with
Wait,
the motto.
hang on, before
Oh, okay, you have something else?
donations.
Oh, donations.
We gotta talk about that.
We do. Okay, so as Austin said, if as you've watched this or heard anything that we've said that struck a chord with you and you feel like you want to contribute to the cause of Dunbar TSA being able to make their trip to the national conference in Nashville, June 27th through July 1st, we are accepting donations. For that, you can contact me through my school email, cnorton@oklahomaUPS.com is probably the best way. Or you can reach out to our friends here at the Henryettan and they can put you in contact with me to be able to make that happen. Yeah, is that good?
I accept
Okay.
pins too.
Oh,
I have a large collection.
you accept pins? Well,
Yeah, she accepts
okay.
pins.
She accepts pins. So Braylon, you suggested the motto of TSA, which is
Learning
learning to lead in a technical
Technical
world.
world.
Thank you for your time today.